Again, what incredible privilege it is for me to um, just be here with you, this morning group, and hello to the other four groups that are there. Yeah, just grateful for your faithfulness in your journey. And may God give you strength and grace to push through it. This is a shameless plug, but you need to know they've been starting to catch on here. But I have this two-part series. This the ideal I do, designed for people that are engaged or getting married, the blue book, and then for those that are newlyweds up to the first 7 years of marriage, the ideal I do, available on Amazon. And if you know people that are getting married, this would be a fabulous book. My daughter and I wrote it together, and I've done 750 people who were engaged, and so premarital counseling, and my daughter and husband have done about 35. And so nice to have two different generations speaking into the lives of new couples getting married. And it's written for this generation because the chapters are only 3 and 4 words, or sorry, 3 or 4 pages long, not long. And there's questions at the end of each one that the couple can work through together. So designed to be really helpful. Anyway, let's jump in. You have the document available to you if you want to follow it. And I asked the straight question: are you kidding yourself? You know that most people who struggle with porn or sexual addiction are also addicted to lying, and so are you kidding yourself about whether or not you're addicted? And so what I have here this morning is a very practical self-assessment as to whether or not you're addicted, and you can see what I think. And this isn't a biblical treatise this morning. This doesn't have a lot of Bible in it, other than to say that, you know, uh, the man who covers his sin will not prosper, as it says, but he who confesses and renounces finds mercy. So we know that there's something about being honest and, admitting to one another where we're at. And that was obviously one of the things that came out very clear from the man who was sharing, with the new gentleman today of what regroup means. But yeah, so this particular tool, I guess, is for you to put yes or no in the margin on the right side, for you to put yes or no in the margin with regard to whether or not you are yes or no to each of the 15 statements. And so let's this is how to know if you're addicted or not, and these are key elements of the addictive pattern. The addictive pattern. And I created this based on my experience and my study in the area as sexual addiction recovery therapist, credentialed with the American Association of Sexual Addiction Therapy. And yeah, so here we go. I'm going to read them, and you can make a mental note of whether or not these are true of you. Porn has been around for a long time, often starting in the preteen years, and the porn masturbation orgasm, PMO cycle, is deeply entrenched in your life. Yes or no? Sexualizing women is an underlying norm, though trying to be discreet, you're checking out boobs, butts, bellies a lot. These mental snapshots become part of your fantasy life. FMO, fantasy masturbation orgasm. 3, freedom from PMO has been intermittent. It may have been 3 or 4 month gaps, but release is certain again. Cycles are starting to be predictable, and you start to feel that a relapse is coming. You start to kind of know that I don't like how I'm feeling. You can start to feel that you're weakening. Fourthly, your need for extreme privacy has increased. Secrets are norm. You keep your phone near. You won't share passwords, and you clear histories to hide searches. You hide all questionable activities. Number 5, there are constant lies to cover your tracks and your activities. Lying is part of your addiction, and truthfully, you misrepresent the truth most of the time, almost daily. 6, you're really good at justifying and minimizing the effects of porn or sexual fantasy that it's having on you or your marriage. You're saying it's no big deal and you've got it under control. 7, your attempts to quit are well-meaning but short-lived. The PMO or acting out cycle continues. You have a history of many attempts to stop. The addiction actually has you. Number 8, you carry a boatload of guilt and shame over repeated failures. Discouragement and despair have set in. You're not the man you want to be, but you can't seem to change. Number 9, increased, edgier sexual material is part of the addiction. You viewed things that you never thought you'd watch. The draw may be darker, the frequency increasing, and obviously, as your behavior has got continued to be more complicated, that's part of the slide. Number 10, the deterioration of your personal morals and values is evident, and your one-time healthy sexual boundaries have grown blurry or even compromised. You're losing the moral battle within. Your faith and your relationship with God has faltered and failed over time. You're not who you once were, not close to Jesus, and feel unworthy to be close to him. You've grown cold in your faith. Number 12, your addiction pushes you to continue acting out, not counting the cost of the possibility of losing your job, your marriage, your family. You're blind and in denial of what you could lose. You still act out. 13, you may have sexually acted outside the marriage or planning to, online or in person. If not, you know this could easily become a possibility on the horizon. You're just one step away. Sometimes you know you want to act out the fantasies that are in your head. 14, you deny you're a sex addict, that those other guys, that's those guys, not you. You compare yourself to the worst in others that you hear to make yourself feel better. The biggest lie is you're lying to yourself. And 15, you have a pattern of blaming others and making excuses for your behavior, and at times can get aggressive or reactive verbally, emotionally, even physically, especially after any relapse. These 15 key elements of the addictive pattern, the more of these that are true, the clearly you got a problem. And if you deny it, you're kidding yourself. I would argue that any 5 of these is clearly evidence of an addictive pattern, just 5 of them. The more that are there, we know that the addiction is real and has a grip on you. My prayer would be that you honestly assess where you're at, and every yes is counted, and every yes is admitted to yourself and to your small group. Because you see, the opposite of all 15 of these is you're actually working things through. The PMO cycle gets unentrenched in your life. You stop sexualizing women you see in public. Freedom from PMO becomes long-standing, and you join the 1,000-day club. You become open and honest. No more secrets, no more lies. You quit justifying and minimizing the addiction to soothe your own conscience, and you beat up the addiction finally. Finally, you have attempts to quit that are long-lived. And the guilt and the shame is dealt with. You've come to the Lord and another brother and worked through your past failures. And you start to receive God's grace, and the despair and the discouragement lifts. There's no longer a slide into edgier material and darker activities because you've addressed the addiction finally. You feel the return of morals and values and boundaries and feel good about that. Oh, it's so good to have your walk with Jesus alive and real again and experiencing his love and forgiveness and grace. And there's no more crossing boundaries, online or in person. And it's a freeing thing to feel that sense of strength growing in you. And you've counted the cost. You've made amends with those that you've hurt already. And you're counting the cost, realize the price that you will pay if you continue. And you're glad that you've put it behind you. And you're admitting that you're a much loved child of God on your journey to freedom from sexual addiction by the help of God and by your brothers here. It's a good thing to be able to be honest. And you no longer blame others, make excuses. You man up and take responsibility. You see, the key elements to the addictive pattern, when turned on their head, become the key elements of the recovery pattern. And you can also discover where you're at on your journey by how many of the opposite of these 15 are true of you. So my prayer is that you would use this to do an honest self-assessment, share with the guys in your group, share with your accountability partner, share with your counselor where you're at, and thank God for the direction that you're going. Let's enjoy a discussion about this document, the key elements of the addictive pattern, and whether or not you're kidding yourself. Let's talk about it.